Right, video here for you guys, another automated solution. Basically, we are doing an AI automated personal brand solution here. So quickly running through what I mean by that. You have a personal brand or you want to grow a personal brand. Generally, you as a personal brand will be focused in one area of interest. And for example, it may be AI. You'll then have a topic of interest at any given point. You'll formulate an opinion or argument of the topic, and then you would distribute your argument or opinion across these social media platforms, to which your audience will critique or engage with your opinion, thus growing your personal brand. You'll formulate a new topic of interest, again, formulating a new opinion or argument, distribute it, rinse and repeat, thus growing your personal brand. How do we do this? Let's jump into it. So for this particular automation, we're gonna need three things. First and foremost is gonna be Make. So head on over to make.com, create yourself an account. Number two is Perplexity AI. Go over to this software and create yourself an account. And finally, number three is gonna be ChatGPT Plus. You need the Plus version to create your assistants. So head on over to platform.openai.com. After you have those three things, you are going to head over to Make. Now, when you're in Make, you'll have this main screen here. You're just gonna hit create a new scenario. You'll be taken to a module screen that looks like this. And for the purpose of this video, to make it a short video, I have given you for free my whole blueprint for this particular automation. So you'll head down to these three dots at the bottom here. You'll hit more and then import blueprint, and you'll import that file that's in the description below. To import my blueprint, just go ahead and click import. You'll download the link in the description that says make blueprint. It'll be in your downloads. You'll go ahead and click it, open. It'll pop up here with the name and you'll hit save. And then it will look something like this. So on face value, this looks a bit complicated, but I can assure you it's not. All we have to do for your case is go ahead and set up some connections here. If you're not familiar with setting up your connections in Make, I've made a few videos now on Make, which will give you a better understanding on how to go into each module and set up a connection. But if you're pretty familiar with that, we can go ahead and quickly run over it now. So, as you would anything, you'll head over to your first module here. You'll hit into it and you'll need to set up your connection, like I said. To set up a connection, go ahead and hit add. You'll need your API key from Perplexity. So go over to your Perplexity account. Under your account, API will be your API key. Now, if you don't have any credits, you are going to have to add some credits to your account. You probably only need $5, pretty inexpensive to run this automation using their API. So I'd recommend topping up with about $5 and you'd be good to go. So once you have $5 in your account, you can head down to here under API keys. You'll hit generate and you'll be given a unique API key. Copy this API key, head on over to Make and paste it in here. And now your connection is set up. So you'll already have your message content in here because you've imported it. But if you haven't, I have provided you with 5 special prompts crafted by yours truly that is essential in this Make automation. What you'll need first is your Perplexity prompt. I'll explain briefly how this will work. So we're using Perplexity to scrape data off a particular article and summarize it into an easy dot point summary form so that we can later use that output by our 4 custom-made assistants to generate social media specific content. So If you want to change this, you can. This will be your article URL, so your topic you are wanting to post about. Each time you want to change this or change something you want to talk about, just come over to your make and change the URL here. The role here is user. When that's all set up, go ahead and run this module only. If it's green, that is good. Now running through the output here, so you'll have input, output, go ahead and down to choices, one, message, content, and this is your output of the data we gave it. So we gave it a article and we've asked it to summarize it. So in dot point form, we have a summary of an article. Now we can manipulate this data to generate some content. We have a router here next, our second module. This simply splits it into 5 directions. Now, as far as I'm concerned, Make doesn't have a connection for Instagram threads. I'll release a video when they do, but moving forward, we can just start with X. So, like I said, we have some assistants here, our own custom-made assistant that formats data appropriately for that specific social media platform. If you've seen my last video, I did it for Medium and X, so you can go ahead and check that out and see how to create assistants and things like that. But I've given you the prompts already for each individual assistant. So we have a Twitter or X assistant prompt, newsletter prompt, Medium assistant prompt, and a LinkedIn assistant prompt. To create your assistants, like I said, you're going to need ChatGPT Plus. Head on over to platform.openai.com and create your assistants here. Your assistants are basically your own little ChatGPT modules that do what you say. Now, this is why the prompts are important. This took me a few hours on getting some really solid prompts for each assistant specific to those social media platforms. But when you're over here in the platform.openai, you just need to paste the prompts that I've given you or come up with your own unique prompts. Simply to create your assistants, hit create and paste in these prompts given to you in the instructions menu. When you've done that for your newsletter, LinkedIn, and Medium and Threads, you are good to go. You don't need much else. You'll head over into these modules, you'll set up your connection, and our message is basically going to be the output from Perplexity. So we're feeding in the article summary to the assistant receives the summary, and then it structures it how we want. So to do that, messages come from the output here. So Perplexity, choices, message, content. You'll hit that if this isn't already pre-selected for you, and that basically just gives it the content that was spat out before. You'll head over to your assistant and you'll select the appropriate assistant. The top one here is going to be for X. Once you've done that for all 4, we'll need to set up 2 more different connections, and then you're pretty much good to go. And that's going to be Google Docs. So to explain this properly, I'll go ahead and just run one module only. So I can run that. Basically what this does, article summary here, article summary into the assistant prompt, and then the assistant prompt into a Google Docs that you can later post to your chosen platform. The output here looks like this. So you come under output, content 1, text, value, and look at that. We have different threads for your Twitter thread. I've run this just to show you this next connection that we'll set up here. So go into Google Docs, you'll create a connection. To do that, just sign in with Google and then you're good to go. Your name is going to be whatever you want really, but for this, I've just done it based on the assistant ID, X threads draft, and then the run ID. But the most important thing here is content. So that's why I ran this before. Your content is found in the output. So under your assistant, hit content, text, and value. You'll hit that and you'll get your content and text value. Now choose your drive. So drive, I've got some subfolders. You'll put it in your desired location and it's good to be spat out in your Google Drive. The last connection we'll need to make is for our email. This is similar to creating a Google Docs connection. So you can go ahead and add connection type, Google, save or whatever. And then it'll prompt you to sign in with Google. I've already done it, so we don't have to worry about that. Next, we want to save it into our drafts email folder. So to do that, you'll just hit here and you'll get a few drop-down menus here, and you just want it to be spat out into the drafts. We don't want to send an email automatically. Unless you're wanting to do that, you can do that. Now, for this particular case, I'm just emailing to myself, so that's the email address. Moving on, your subject line. Now, this can be whatever you want. You can do post or something like that, but if you want it specific to the article title or something like that, you can just go ahead and do it on results. Content type is HTML, and then the content, similar to what we have up here, is going to be content, text, and value. Hit that and your Gmail is good to go. Now that you've set up your Google Docs and your email connections, that's pretty much it. All you have to do now is run this as a whole, make sure all these things are enabled, and you'll have 3 Google Docs for X, Medium, and LinkedIn posts, and then you can go over to your Gmail and check out the draft email newsletter. Something cool to note here with the email one is the prompts. You may look in the prompts, or you may notice, but the prompts I have here for the newsletter is it's the article structured and then pasted to HTML output. Now, the reason why I've done this will become apparent shortly when I run this, but for now, let's go ahead and run this for everything and you can see sort of a holistic view on what happens here. First and foremost, it is going to our X structurer. That's all good. It's now posting to our Google Docs. It's now going to our email structurer. This one takes a bit longer, but that's okay. It'll be done shortly. It's now going over to our Medium structure. That's fine. Posts to the Google Docs. And finally, it's going to our LinkedIn one. And there you go. So let's check what we got from this. Automations to a subfolder in your Google Docs, like I was saying. This is in draft content. And we've got a bunch of things here. So our Threads draft, Medium draft, and LinkedIn draft. I'm not going to go into all of these, but you'll get the idea when I just jump into this. So this is going to be your Twitter threads. You can go in here and change things as you need. You'll go into your Medium draft. You got a nice little article that you can go in and paste into Medium. And then again for LinkedIn, there we go. And the LinkedIn's formatted appropriately, so you got the URL at the bottom, so to link the article URL when you post. Now the coolest one of all is going to be your email, so jump over to your emails. Now that you're over your emails, you see under drafts, and this is the newsletter that it created for us. Now, like I said, the title can be whatever you want. This is up for personal preference, but the reason it's in HTML is to get these nice headings, these nice italics and things like that. So it looks pretty good, and link to the article you're mentioning, and there you go. So you've got a Twitter poster, LinkedIn poster, Medium poster, newsletter poster, and soon to be our Threads poster. That's covering 4 or 5 different social media platforms based on one article we gave it, and generating 5 unique content pieces. Well, in this case, 4, all in the span of a few minutes. And this is a really powerful tool on keeping consistency and I would like to say quality of posts, and therefore increasing your personal brand. Like I was explaining in the Miro board, your personal brand is just you getting out into the world of social media and posting your topics and opinions, and doing that on a consistent basis to increase your audience. And something like this is a really powerful tool to do that efficiently. I hope you guys enjoyed. I hope this was easy to follow. Let me know in the comments if it wasn't and there are some parts that need clarification, but you have all the resources you need below in the description, your make blueprint and the 5 different prompts you need to get this working perfectly. All you need, like I said before, is to set up your Perplexity account, create that connection, set up your ChatGPT Plus account, go over to platform.openai, set up those connections, set up your Google Docs connections, and set up your email connection, and this blueprint is good to go. If you're wondering how to connect these directly with Twitter and LinkedIn and also Medium, all you have to do is just play around with this, make sure they're linked together. For something like LinkedIn, just go ahead and click in and add your connection like we were doing anything else, and the content is like we were doing with these with Google Docs, visibility, public, main feed, and it's going to be similar to X and it's going to be similar to Medium. Very easy to connect those up if you wish to. In this case, I haven't. I'll link some more resources on how to actually create this from scratch, not just using my blueprint, if you guys want to follow that. Hope you guys enjoyed, and that was me for today. Thank you.